Hello everyone, this is first lecture of Analog and Digital Systems course. In this lecture, we will cover about load line analysis and biasing of BJT. For the analysis of load line, first we will do load line introduction, then how load line can be drawn, after that analysis of load line for various conditions. After that biasing introduction, then why do we need biasing circuits? What are the basic requirements for a biasing of BJT? Now what is load line? Load line is defined as locus of operating points on the output characteristics of transistor. It is also defined as a line on which operating points moves whenever AC signal is applied to the circuit, or we can say when AC signal is applied to the circuit, along this line operating points move. Now question is, what is operating point? Operating point is a point on this line which gives value of collector emitter voltage and collector current whenever no AC signal is given to the circuit, or we can say under DC conditions or due to DC bias sources, value of collector current that flow in the circuit and collector emitter voltage gives us operating point. Now why it is so called? Because variations would take place about this value of operating point whenever AC signal is applied to the circuit for amplification. For the load line, consider the network and device characteristics as. In this network, transistor used is NPN. It is used in common emitter configuration. IC is the current flow through the resistor RC. IB is the current flow through resistor RB. VCC is the collector supply voltage. Now to plot load line on these device characteristics, apply KVL to the output circuit. When we apply KVL to the output circuit, we would get VCC minus ICRC minus VCE is equal to 0. To get one point on horizontal axis, put IC is equal to 0 in equation 1. When we put IC is equal to 0 in equation 1, we would get VCE is equal to VCC. This gives one point on the horizontal axis whose value is VCC. Now to get another point on vertical axis, put VCE is equal to 0 in the equation 1. When we put VC is equal to 0 in equation 1, we would get IC is equal to VCC by RC. This gives another point on the vertical axis whose value is VCC by RC. Now join these 2 points. When we join these 2 points, we would get load line. This is the load line. Now the device characteristics where intersect the load line gives the operating points. These are the various operating points for a values of base currents. For example, for the value of base current 10 microampere, Q1 is operating point. For the value of 20 microampere base current, Q2 is operating point. Similarly, for the base current of 30 microampere, Q3 is the operating point. Similarly, for this value of base current, Q4 is operating point. Now we can analyze from this figure, as we increase base current, operating point moves towards upward side, or we can say operating point moves in the upside direction. Now solve the example given as plot DC load line for the given circuit. Now to plot DC load line for the given circuit, apply KVL to the output circuit. VCC minus ICRC minus VCE is equal to 0. Now when we put VCE is equal to 0 in this equation 1, we get IC is equal to VCC by RC. Here VCC is 12, RC is 2 kilo ohm, which would give 6 milliampere. IC value, which is a 1 point on load line. For IC is equal to 0 in equation 1, VCE is equal to VCC, which have 12 volt. Now the solution of this particular example is, in this figure, 12 volt which is VCC, 6 milliampere which is IC for VC is equal to 0. This is the load line for this particular circuit. Transistor biasing. What is transistor biasing? Proper flow of zero signal collector current and maintenance of collector emitter voltage during the passage of signal is known as transistor biasing. Now question is, what is zero signal? Zero signal means whenever no AC signal is applied to the circuit, at that time value of collector current, collector emitter voltage is known as zero signal collector current and collector emitter voltage. If transistor is not biased properly, it can produce unfaithful amplification in the output signal. Now question is, what is unfaithful amplification? Unfaithful amplification means if we get in the output shape of input signal change during amplification is known as unfaithful amplification. For faithful amplification we must satisfy three conditions. First condition is proper zero signal collector current. What does it mean? Suppose input signal is this. Input signal is this. We have zero signal collector current value is this. It is denoted by IC. This is zero signal collector current. Zero signal means whenever no AC signal is applied. Now whenever AC signal is applied to the input, we get in the output in this way, or variations will take place about this point, about this zero signal collector current. In this figure we can see we would get faithful amplification, means shape of the signal does not change. But if we have IC is this value, then signal will amplify in this way. This portion would cut off, we would get shape of this signal this, or we can see shape of the signal changes. This is called unfaithful amplification. Now to get faithful amplification, this zero signal collector current must be greater than maximum collector current flow due to signal alone. This is the collector current, maximum collector current, which is denoted by IM, due to signal alone. Or we can say for faithful amplification, this zero signal collector current must be greater than maximum value of collector current due to signal alone. Second condition is minimum proper base emitter voltage at any instant, or for the proper biasing of the input junction or proper forward biasing of the input junction, base emitter voltage should not fall below 0.5 volt for germanium, 0.7 volt for silicon. Third condition is minimum proper collector emitter voltage at any instant, so that output junction should remain reverse biased during the passage of signal. Or we can say collector emitter voltage should not fall below 0.5 volt for germanium, 1 volt for silicon. Now question is, why do we need bias stabilization? Once the operating point is fixed, it remains where it was. Operating point should remain constant during the passage of AC signal. There are so many factors due to which operating point can vary. First is temperature dependence of collector current and individual parameters of transistor. Now question is, how collector current depends on temperature. As IC is beta IB plus beta plus 1 ICBO, which is reverse saturation current. ICBO is greatly affected by the temperature. It just double for every 10 degree centigrade rise in temperature. Or individual parameters, that is beta and VBE, also depends on temperature. Beta increases with the increase in temperature. VBE decreases by 7.5 millivolt per degree centigrade rise in temperature. Second factor is parameter changes from unit to unit. Instead of advancement in semiconductor technologies, if transistor is replaced by another transistor of same type, its parameter such as beta can change. Now next is thermal runaway. It is a phenomena basically. If operating point is not stabilized, it can happen. Now what is thermal runaway? As temperature increases, ICBO increases. Due to increase in ICBO, collector current increases. You can see from this equation If collector current increases, junction temperature would also increase. Junction temperature means temperature of collector base junction would also increase. This process repeats again. It is a cumulative process. After some time, transistor can burn out, or we can say self-destruction of unstabilized transistor is known as thermal runaway, which is a more dangerous. It means operating point should be stabilized. Now, what are the requirements of biasing circuit? To make an biasing circuit, what are the requirements? These are the three requirements which must keep in mind while designing a biasing circuit. First, operating point should be in the middle of active region. If operating point is not selected in the middle of active region, then during the passage of AC signal, instantaneous operating point can go either in saturation or in cutoff region, or we can say we will get unfaithful amplification. Second is stabilize collector current against temperature variations. If temperature vary, collector current does not vary. It should remain constant. There would no effect of temperature variations on the value of collector current. Last is operating point does not depend on the transistor parameter. We have to design a biasing circuit in such a way that operating point should independent on transistor parameters. These are the references which I used to make video lecture of this particular topic. First one is Bolistad, second one is N.N. Bhargava. Even for more details, you can also refer these books. Thank you.